Voyager 1, humanity's most distant creation, a machine built in the 1970s to drift outward and never look back, appears to have done something no one expected. It turned. Imagine a car set on an endless road, steering locked, engine untouched for decades, moving only because inertia carries it forward. Then one day, without warning, the wheel moves. Not a drift. Not a wobble. A deliberate turn into darkness. That is the unsettling comparison some scientists have quietly made about what may have occurred nearly 15 billion miles from Earth. NASA has acknowledged that Voyager 1 returned usable data after months of confusion. But beneath those public statements lies a far stranger possibility. Because what happened next may force us to rethink not only the spacecraft, but the emptiness we believed surrounded it. Voyager 1 was never supposed to do anything surprising anymore. Launched in 1977 with technology weaker than a household appliance and computer memory smaller than a modern image file, it was designed simply to endure. It flew past Jupiter and Saturn, crossed the heliopause in 2012, and entered interstellar space, a region so remote it almost feels abstract. Beyond the Sun's protective bubble, there are no planets, no solar wind shaping the environment, no familiar celestial architecture. Only darkness, particles, and silence. For decades, Voyager behaved exactly as expected. It transmitted engineering data, cosmic readings, and faint whispers from a machine slowly aging in the cold. Then something changed. It began with corrupted telemetry. Strange distortions in transmissions unlike anything engineers expected from ordinary aging electronics. At first, it looked like malfunction, cosmic rays flipping bits, degrading hardware. Yet embedded within the noise were recurring structures. Mathematical repetitions that refused to behave like random errors. Then Voyager's fault protection systems activated unexpectedly. Those emergency systems are meant for catastrophic events, tumbling impacts or severe internal failures. But no such event was detected. The spacecraft reacted as though it had encountered something. Then came the impossible part. Its high-gain antenna, engineered to remain locked toward Earth, appeared to shift. Not through recorded thruster firings. Not through known commands. But through what onboard sensors suggested was an unexplained torque event. In deep space, where nothing should touch Voyager, something seemed to have nudged it. And it did not point back to Earth. It aimed toward a region astronomers describe as a null zone a patch of sky seemingly empty, where gravitational influences appear strangely balanced. A place Voyager should have had no reason to recognize. Once oriented toward that darkness, new signals appeared. Voyager's plasma wave instruments detected an unusual structured hum, a narrow band resonance around 30 kHz. Rhythmic. Repeating. Almost musical. Scientists nicknamed it the plasma melody. But hidden inside the pattern seemed to be something stranger still. Recursive mathematical forms and fractal symmetries measured with a precision Voyager's own instruments should not have been capable of producing. It was as though the spacecraft was carrying information it did not generate. As researchers on Earth focused telescopes toward the region Voyager faced, some reported a faint infrared anomaly. Not a star. Not a galaxy. But a shimmering presence at the edge of detectability. Even more unsettling were claims that the anomaly appeared responsive, subtly fluctuating with solar activity, as if synchronized with our Sun. And then Voyager went silent. For 12 hours, there was no signal. Complete darkness. For a probe that survived decades of radiation and mechanical decay, this blackout was extraordinary. When the transmission returned, some internal timing systems appeared reset, as though the spacecraft had emerged from a gap in ordinary continuity. Engineers called it anomaly recovery. Others privately used a more unsettling phrase, transit event. When the strange data was pushed through advanced pattern analysis, conventional systems struggled to interpret it. Researchers reportedly turned to quantum processors built for complexity beyond binary logic. And according to speculative reports, the decoded structure did not produce equations. It produced a question. Asterisk, are you ready to listen? Whether literal or symbolic, the phrase spread like a whisper through scientific circles. When astronomers compared Voyager's trajectory with maps of the cosmic microwave background, the ancient afterglow of the Big Bang, they identified a subtle distortion aligned with its course. Not new. Ancient. Present in archival data going back decades. Some researchers now describe what may be happening not as signal reception, but field interaction, something behaving less like radiation and more like a responsive presence. The energy patterns seemed purposeful. Focused. Almost conversational. Not a broadcast. A handshake. And that changes everything. For nearly half a century, this small machine has carried humanity's existence outward. The golden record, sounds, languages, music, fragments of civilization. We imagine some distant intelligence might one day find it. But what if the universe answered first? And what if Voyager's impossible turn was not an accident, but an invitation?